the main event of AEW All In saw Adam Page finally wrest the AEW World Heavyweight Championship from Jon Moxley. Right, before we do that, right, 6 hours this pay-per-view was.
I don't get that. Who was there at the end? What time did it start?
I think it started at like 3 Eastern or something like that. Or 4 Eastern. It started really early.
How much wrestling can you watch? Seriously, it's like watching a football game. If a football game that I'm really interested in, if it goes in overtime, oh, that's good. That's good. But then it goes into 2 overtimes. Oh, well, 3 overtimes. I'm getting pissed off. Do something. You're professionals. Do something. And then after, I would turn it off after the 3rd overtime. I'm worn out on football. But people are just burnt the hell out after 3 hours of wrestling on TV. I mean, you couldn't sit and watch 3 hours of TV live, and then they expect you to watch it or sit at home, even in your favorite chair or couch. Just can't do it. And I don't understand the reasoning for that, other than, I don't know. I don't even have a reason for it.
Okay, there's a theory. So you know that, and we're going to be talking about this once again in a minute. So WWE are counter-programming AEW's pay-per-view, really, with Saturday night's main event and the Evolution show and everything, and the NXT show they did as well the same weekend. And the theory was that All In.
How much wrestling was on last week?
We're going to get to that in a minute. I promise you we'll get to that in a minute. So the theory was that if All In could go an extra hour, it would take a few viewers away from Saturday night's main event, so almost counter-booking the counter-booking, if you know what I mean. So it's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. From Wednesday. In fact, let's go from last Monday. 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, yeah?
It's 3 hours now?
Oh, Raw's been 3 hours for ages, yeah. Over a decade, I think.
I thought it was 2 hours now.
Raw? No, SmackDown is, but Raw isn't. Raw's still 3 hours.
SmackDown went to 2.
Yeah. But Raw is still 3.
Raw is still 3.
Oh, yeah. So if we go 3 hours for Raw, 2 hours for NXT, that's on Tuesday. 2 hours for Dynamite, that's 7. 2 hours for a Thursday edition of Collision, which is 9. SmackDown was 2 hours, that's 11. But there was also a Ring of Honor show early on pay-per-view, so that's at least 3 hours, so that's 15 hours. All In was 6 hours, which is 21. The pre-show was 2 hours, so that's 23. NXT's Great American Bash that same day was 2 hours, so that's 25. And then there was Saturday night's main event, which is 27. And then there is the WWE's Evolution show, the women's pay-per-view on Sunday. That was 3 hours. 30. 30 hours of wrestling in the last week.
Too much. Now, I know they're making money on this, but they're diluting the product so much. And I don't think that's helpful. I really don't. Maybe to a fan, it's not helpful. To the companies, it is, I guess. I don't know. So could you watch 30 hours?
No, right. Here's the thing.
Okay, just think of the most energetic, fan that would watch anything wrestling related. I can't think of one. I might be able to read about one, but 30 hours, when do you live your life?
That's a full-time job, 30 hours.
Yeah, when do you work a job, or when do you think about anything else, or I don't know. And the type of fans who can watch 30 hours a week of wrestling, I don't think I really want to be around them that much. There's something wrong with them.
So on Sunday, right, I allocated 4 hours, right, to watch All In. And a little bit of Saturday night's main event as well. So it's easy to skip that because the matches are short and, the break's long. And then I saw it was 6 hours. And then I kept having to forward through it to get to the main meat of what I needed to see. So I ended up having to skip through all the entrances pretty much. I had to skip the ring announcements, so I didn't realise that the main event of All In was...
but the question is, what would Jim Cornette say about this?
He'd say, it's really rather simple.
Yeah.
Sit there for 30 hours, growing carbuncles on your ass watching wrestling for a week, and then you might have an idea of what's going on.
Oh my God. But anyway, it's all I can say, and I'm speaking for myself, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I love football. I cannot watch that much football either. I don't give a crap. I don't, I just couldn't do it.
Do you want to watch 30 hours of it? All right, so I swear we got complaints, Stevie and I, when we reviewed the show.
Yeah.
Because we said the pay-per-view at 6 hours was too long, and people couldn't fathom that maybe, like, but you do a review show on wrestling. Why do you hate wrestling so much? It's like, we don't. We work, we cover wrestling constantly. 6 hours, you know what? 6 hours is too much for pretty much anything.
I would think so.
That's nearly a transatlantic flight from here to New York. That is impossibly long. And some people cannot understand that people would not want to watch that much wrestling. Like, there's a small subsect that can't understand.
So they were accusing you
of hating wrestling because we didn't want to sit there for 6 hours and we complained about it. Here's the thing, it's like, a good pop song is 3 or 4 minutes, and part of the beauty of a good pop song is the brevity, is condensing the good stuff into easy, digestible, whatever, for the consumer. That's why it's popular. It's called pop music for a reason. And mainstream wrestling, to a point, should be the same thing. You should cut out the chaff, get rid of just the crap you don't need, like 20-minute entrances. And this goes for both companies. I'm sure you'll agree, Dutch, or if you don't.
I agree.
Cut out the massive entrances. The WWE PLEs are having 5 matches over the course of 3.5 hours. And there's like 2.5 hours worth of crap and 1 hour of wrestling. And then All In have then just gone and beaten the concept of professional wrestling to death by stretching it over 6 hours. And the matches, I think at least 5 or 6 of them, if you put them all together, they average 30 minutes each. And because there were 2 gauntlet battle royals, not battle royals, but pretty much gauntlet matches, the 3 main events all went nearly 30 minutes. Or the main event went 36. It's too much. If you have to have like one, I know I'm doing all the talking, Dutch, you take over and say, but if you're going to have a long match, have it at the end and have it the main event and have all the other matches shorter so it stands out. If you just have a pay-per-view full of long matches, then you've got a pay-per-view of just no long matches.
Well, back in the day, that's when you say I'm old as hell. Back in the, you went to buildings, you went to coliseums and arenas. You had a certain time you had to be out of there. Not because of the fans, but it actually worked out right because say you were started at 8, they want you out and done by 10:30. The building does. So I think you could put on, if you cut out those long, drawn-out entrances and all this. I mean, I think the entrance for some of these matches were, if you combine them, they're like 8 to 10 minutes. And you're sitting there watching them. You know who they are. I mean, and you're doing this every match, even for a match that's not that important. And it's just, and I don't care who says that I'm blaming wrestling or I'm kind of dragging it in the mud. No, I don't think anybody likes that because I don't like it. I come to see wrestling. I don't come to see an entrance. I come to see a match and see who wins it and see what they're going to do, see the story. See, an entrance doesn't really, unless you're going to do something in that entrance, it adds nothing to the story. You've seen it. If you've seen it on TV, if you've seen it once, you've seen it 50 times. But yeah, these long cards, I think it hurts the business more than helps it.
I think it drives away
because the next time I see an AEW card, I said, "Wait a minute, I'm not going to another one." If it's 6 hours long, I mean, I'm not doing it.
Right, the hardcore fans are most likely to complain, right, or defend whatever. But as someone who speaks for the casual audience, that is such an enormous turn-off to have a 6-hour show. 8 hours, really, with the pre-show. An 8-hour show. And then there was a 2-hour post-show press scrum as well. So you're looking at 10
wait a minute.
hours.
This went 8 hours?
Yeah, the pre-show was 2 hours. It had 3 matches on the pre-show, or 4 matches. 3 matches.
The pre-show was 3 hours, or 2 hours.
2 hours. The main show was 6 hours.
That's 9, right?
That's 8.
8.
And then the post-show press scrum was 2 hours. So that's 10 hours total, really. It drives people away.
Wait a minute. That's Super Bowl numbers. Super Bowl is on about 10 hours.
Yeah.
But that's once a year. You expect that. But that's why that when the Super Bowl comes on, I don't tune in to any of the pre-show. I don't want to see it. I'll tune in about 10 minutes before the game starts, watch the game, and maybe a little bit of the after show, and then I'm gone.
Yeah, but the
Now,
event.
that's me.
But it's like 5 hours of pre-show though that is optional.
Right.
Whereas if you want to watch all the wrestling matches, you had to watch 8 full hours of it.
Yep, that's it. I'm agreeing. So anyway, and who was this person who called you up and said what?
No one called me up anything. No one has my number. But
no, not called you, but just you got emails about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I think it's just like the hardcores think they speak for all of the wrestling fans, and they obviously don't, because no regular wrestling fan would look at 6 hours and great, I can't wait for. So I love boxing. If they said, right, this is a 6-hour boxing card, do you know what I wouldn't watch it. Same with UFC, like the prelim shows. They were too. I never watched the prelims because they didn't matter really, unless you're once again, if you're an absolute hardcore, that's fine. But the thing is, MMA fans or UFC fans aren't saying that you're not a real UFC fan or MMA fan because you're not watching every single prelim of every single blah blah blah, and you don't know every single fighter constantly. It's like, no, I think, and as you as well, Dutch, we represent the casuals. We don't represent the mega hardcore.
Well, that's the casuals where you make your money.
Mm-hmm.
And the hardcores, the hardcores are the easiest to predict. Oh, they're going to be there anyway. So don't even count them in. Don't even do anything for them. We're trying to get the casual fans. I heard that when I was in the business about a year. When you get a sellout, you know what you get when you get the sellout? You get the casual fan.
Mm-hmm.
The casual fan says, I'm going to go watch this because it's different, and I want to see what they do. Now you'll have any town has the hardcore base. Let's just take 1,000-seat arena. Say the hardcore base is 50 seats. Well, you're going to sell 50 seats anyway, but you're trying to get up to the 1,000 seats. And you can tell by your advance if you're going to sell out or not. After you've been in business a while, it will tell you. The advance tells you what you're going to do. Memphis, you could tell if you're going to have a sellout. If that advance went over a certain amount, we got a sellout. And you look out there at 8:00, it's full. So let's go have it. And nothing was extra. You didn't have a pre-card match or nothing. You had preliminaries, and then you went on with the card. But I'm not interested in we're almost trying to make longevity out of damned originality, or if it's good or not. I'm not interested in that.
What did you say before? Less is more.
Less is more. If it's good, yeah, you just get to say more is more. It can't be. But for the hardcore fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought, I know you didn't watch the full show for what it's worth. I was really down on the show because of how long it was at the time. I've sort of reevaluated and watched bits more of it, and bits of it were very good. The last 3 matches were very good. So, and the longest match, which was Adam Page versus John Moxley, didn't feel like the longest match at all because there was so much happening. And the other thing was that so many stories were tied together at the end of that show, or at least that match, that it opened up a huge amount of possibilities going forward. So now you're excited for all these new feuds. So one feud culminates, the championship changes hands to Adam Page, and now. So I know you didn't watch the main event. I gave you a rundown. You watched the last few minutes, so I'll sort of just explain it for those who didn't watch. There was a failed run-in by Will Ospreay. Wheeler Yuta is about to put a plastic bag over Page's head. Then the returning Bryan Danielson runs into the ring to stop that happening. So this is a callback to Bryan Danielson. He ends up with a plastic bag on his head. That's the last time anyone sees him pretty much on AEW TV. That was like in October of 2024. So that's a callback, and a good callback. Now, Darby Allin finally returns to TV. The last person he was seen interacting with, I think, was Jon Moxley. They were priming for a feud, and then Darby Allin goes to Mount Everest, does that training for months. He's finally come back. He's helped cost Jon Moxley the title. So therefore, that is another feud, Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, that can go. Then, the Young Bucks, who have aligned themselves with the Death Riders recently, also interfere after the Death Riders are run off. And then the Young Bucks are run off by Swerve, Strickland, and also Prince Nana had his part to play as well. So therefore, we've now got the Young Bucks and Will Ospreay and Adam Page and Swerve. And then Adam Page and Swerve have also paid off their sort of reunion or reuniting after 2 years feuding as well, from drinking each other's blood to burning each other's houses down. So there was like 4 different things, and 5 different things really coming off that. And I thought that was the best booked ending to a pay-per-view AEW's ever done. So, so that really...
but it has a reason. They did callbacks.
They did callbacks, and every single thing they did made sense. And now it's splintered off into 4 different things, heading into the rest of the summer. So the booking's done now. It's easy. Everything's easy. It's how it should be.
Now they got to just produce what they've already started, and it all culminated in this match, and go from there. They've reset now, and they've got the summer,
the
rest of the summer to do this.